have proved that you fight well. Now you can join us.
Keep cut sequence. Wake up, check your phone. Ignore the alarm, you're still alone. Wake up, rewind the night. Who are you? But also kind of who am I? Wake up, check your phone. Pre-party for the apocalypse, don't forget to RSVP. Think about how the polar bears are running out of ice. But hey, this photo got a lot of likes. Get down, but don't feel down. This is why we can't have nice things, like a clean car or world peace.
The Roma Miclat Show is so excited because today we have our first international guest, and we started our connection through social media, and it's been years since we've been online friends, and hopefully one day after everything is back to normal, we get to see each other, finally bond together. And I'm so thankful that she said yes on my show, and this episode will be in full English, and this one goes out to all our international followers. Let's welcome Miss Patricia Buhril, all the way from Impal, India. Yay!
Hi everyone, and hi Roma. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I am so excited.
Welcome to the show. How are you? How are you the past days?
I'm good, not bad. Of course, the lockdown has got me going through an emotional roller coaster, but I guess everyone's, going through the same thing.
I know. How is everything in India? Can you share a little bit of, what's happening in India?
Yeah, so India is actually on the rise. We are having more cases, especially in the metro cities. The number of COVID cases has just shot up, and in my own city over here in Imphal, it's in a state called Manipur, which is in the northeast of India. We were not having any cases at first, but then we started opening our state so that people can start coming home, because a lot of people were going to the metro cities for work, and some of them were getting laid off, and some of them were not being able to pay rent, and they had to come back home, So because of that, the state opened up, and then we kind of got some positive cases, but no new cases from the state. So we're hoping that everything will be better. The number is not so bad. I mean, we're at 83 or 84 cases,
not so bad, yeah.
Which were all from outside. Yeah, but the ones in the metro city, like, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, those are crazy right now. Crazy numbers.
Yeah. 83 is not so bad compared to, other countries, right? So,
yeah,
but I hope, yeah, but I hope everything goes. I keep on saying this in every episode. I keep on saying that we hope that this ends because it's been half a year. It's been 6 months. It's been 6 months. It's already June. Oh my God. We didn't expect this in 2020. Oh my God. But anyway, that is the reason why we are doing this. And I have my podcast because, to share some light and positivity to my followers, and maybe some tips. And again, thank you for joining me today. Just so you know, to all my listeners and all those who are watching right now, Patricia is actually a human resource executive by profession, but a pop star by heart. And to our audience, can you please tell them what a pop star is?
Sure, Roma. So a pop star, there is no defined definition, but we popsters would like to think that anybody who is from the Pop Pilates community or the Blog Pilates community is a popster. So Blog Pilates is Cassie Ho. She is the founder and creator of Pop Pilates, Popflex Active, Bloggy Comics. She does a lot of things.
Yes.
And she is such an inspiration. And all of the persons who have done her workout, we've sort of bonded. She kept this platform open for us to interact with one another, and that is also one of the ways that we've interacted with each other.
Yes.
And it's so crazy. And all of us, we just like to call ourselves popsters because we do Pop Pilates, and we share our life with one another, and we empower and encourage one another, and that's who we are.
Yeah, so me and Patricia are actually popsters, and we are sisters in the community. So
Yes.
I'm part of the Pop Pilates community. I would say it's been a wonderful experience because to be part of that community, it gives you positivity, and they influence you to love yourself more and be active. When we met, right? When we met, you're already part of the popstar community, or you've been doing pop pilates for how many years?
Yeah. So the cutest thing about the way we met is I started following your blog, Berry Duchess, because I was looking for international makeup that would suit Asian skin tones, and I was looking at all your swatches, and I just fell in love with you. And I had followed you, I think,
Thank
much
you.
earlier. I think maybe like 2000, early 2016. And I was so empowered with the way you wrote your topics, and and trust me, I bought like so many things based on your recommendation.
Thank you.
and, and on the flip side, I have been a pop star from August of 2014. So it's
Mhm.
been quite a journey. I really wish I had found this community earlier, because for the first time in my life, I was positively motivated. Other times it would be like motivated for looking a certain way, like
Yeah.
fit into like what society wants you to look like. But when I joined this community, I found that you need to do this for yourself, to be happy, to be strong, the why behind
Yes.
doing a workout versus
Mhm.
the superficial things that goes on. So I think ever since August 2014, I started with the Blog Pilates calendar. So for any of you who are looking at starting your fitness journey, Cassie's workouts are completely and absolutely free. You can get them all on YouTube and on her blog. The calendars on her blog. It's blogpilates.com. And she is still releasing calendars. Like personally,
Yeah, I keep on.
I'm
Yes.
doing other workouts. Yeah.
I have it also on my email.
Same. And she is so committed to us. She's so committed to the community. And that's what I love about her. So that's how I started. I started my journey with doing the Blog Pilates calendars, the monthly calendars. And I was also starting to do my beginner's running guide kind of thing from then. And I
Mhm.
eventually became a runner. So loved every bit of it.
You have this active lifestyle. Now we want to know, were you this active when you were a child, or a teenager, or in college? When did you start having an active lifestyle? Is it like in you, or is it something that you acquired along the way?
I really love this question, because the answer to that is I was the complete opposite kind of a person before 2000, August 2014. I did have some experiments, because I did like Shanti's Insanity and T20 and hip hop abs, and they're all so
Oh
cute,
my
but
god.
oh my gosh, Insanity is crazy.
I
It
know.
is
Oh my
really insane.
gosh. It's like I love watching people doing the workout, but for me it's like, okay, no. 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 No, thank you. No,
I
thank
think the
you.
first time I did it, I puked because I couldn't. Like,
Oh my,
I just couldn't. My body was like, "What's happening?"
is it something like body pump, right? It's like you're doing a lot of burpees. I hate burpees, so it's
Yeah,
which is one
burpees are
biggest
crazy.
part of the biggest part of his exercise. But I think a lot of people are enjoying. It's just that maybe it's not for us. It's not for me and Patricia. So yeah, but
Yeah.
well, you survived it, girl.
Oh my gosh. And I did experiment with all of that, like I was saying. But to answer what you asked, no, I didn't have an active lifestyle. In fact, I was that kid who bunked PE class to do her homework so that she can go home and watch Cartoon Network all day, every day.
Oh my gosh, you hate PE. You're giving well. If
I
you're giving
did.
excuses, me too. I mean, I'm not. I'm no different either. Wearing these glasses for since I was 2 years old. And if there's a chance that I can give an excuse not to attend a PE class, well, it's like I'm gonna tell my professor, I can't play ball. My eyeglasses might be hit by the ball. So it's like, okay, I have an excuse. So also, yeah. So that's why by but at the age of 16, I already know that no, active lifestyle is not for me. I hate sweating. I hate being active. It was in my late 30s that I started actually having this active lifestyle. So for us, for the listeners, and to all the audience who are watching this right now, it's never too late to, decide and
Never
have an
too
active
late.
life. Yeah. If you want this today, if you want this tomorrow, or maybe in the next month, you can do that. It's all you have to do is find your why. That's what we say.
Yeah.
Find your why. So what was your why when you decided to, I want to have an active lifestyle? What was your why?
Yes. So prior to 2014, my why was always about making my parents happy about the way I look, trying to fit into society's version of how I should look. And the thing about the stereotype for Asians, because
Yes.
we have all of these features, is milky white skin, super, athletic, skinny kind of a body, and long hair, super feminine for women, and
Mm-hmm.
even men too. I mean, the whole like BTS thing is like so hot right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm all for it. But while I am all for it, it damaged me when I was growing up because that was like the norm for how I was supposed to look. So before for 2014, I was always like, I want to be skinny, I want to be so skinny, and I want to be so
Yeah.
milky white, and
Mm-hmm.
trying to push myself to be something that, I mean, I'm not saying I can't be that, but what the motivation was just not the good kind because it was leading myself into a negative zone. My
Mm-hmm.
parents don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I look. And I think that's why I couldn't commit to my workouts or I couldn't commit to my eating habit, like a healthy eating
Mm-hmm.
habit, because I was always going into fads, dieting and things like that.
Yes.
It's not sustainable. So for
True.
the first time in August 2014, I made up my mind that I'm going to love my body no matter what the result is. If it's going to take a long time to get the look that I want, it's okay. But you know what the miraculous thing was is that once I started this journey, it was never about how I looked. It was more about how I felt. I
Mm-hmm.
felt stronger. And
Yes.
I had, like you were talking about the work, I was working full time at that time. And uh, I was sharper at work, I was
Mm-hmm.
stronger and my mind was more alert. And my
Yes.
responses with people were not like cranky, because if you are
You're not
crash dieting and
bitchy.
things like that, yeah, oh my gosh, I
You're
didn't
not
want to use that
bitchy.
word.
It's fine. This is a safe place. It's a podcast. You can say it. You're bitchy. we
I
we
know,
feel you,
like,
girl.
exactly, because every other time before that, because I was working before
Mhm.
2014 as well. I started my working career in 2011. So
Mhm.
I've had like around 3 years of cranky work style, um, bitch mode every other day because I
Mhm.
was not eating like well. I wasn't eating the foods that I want. I was always craving for something. But versus this healthy lifestyle, you can eat what you want, but you do calorie counting, you
Mhm.
are being aware of your body. So there's a lot of difference about being aware of the way you feel, aware of what your body needs at this time, and tending to that. And it also has a lot to do with the workout, because for the very first time in my life, I loved the workout.
I
That was
know.
the
It's like
biggest difference.
you don't feel that you're forced to do it just to look good and be accepted by the society or the people around you.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's a different kind of feeling, right? It's like this one is for
it
me.
is.
This one is for my body, not for everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So were you also one
Absolutely.
of the were you also one of those girls who wanted the thigh gap? Because for me, I also wanted the thigh gap for for quite some time because I'm a big girl, so
Yeah.
I have thick thighs, so I'm a thick girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like for me, and then it took some time for me to realize that it's never gonna happen. No matter what I
Yeah.
do, it's just never gonna happen, you know. And I had to accept it.
Absolutely. I was definitely one of those girls, you know, and I think the thigh gap trend was not too long ago. We
Mm-hmm.
were already friends by then. And Cassie addressed it, you know, she talked about thigh gap. And she also talked about the way you pose. So, guys,
Mm-hmm.
don't be scammed. You know, if you kind of
Yeah.
really push your hips out, your thighs kind of rotate outwards and create a thigh gap, which is not natural
Mm-hmm.
because when you're walking, you cannot walk like with your thighs rotated outwards.
Yeah.
I think I'm really glad that a lot of influencers in the fitness community like Cassie and many others spoke
Mhm.
about the thigh gap and
And also
actually
the hip
said that some
dips,
bodies. Oh
right?
yes, the hip dips. Yep, I was like, why is this
Yeah,
here? Like,
same,
what is
same.
this?
What? Why? Why are these women? Why do they have they call it the is it the bubble butt? The is it bubble butt or the
Yes,
perfect perky
yes,
butts? Because it's so
yeah,
round and it's like what?
yeah.
Why? Am I did God forsake me or what? It's like why do I have these bumps? Why me? It's like
I
what?
know.
Yeah, because
I was
you
like,
can't ever
because when you
compare.
start, exactly, when you start
Mm.
working out, right, your body starts toning up in its own way. And
Mm.
when your hips get toned and then the outer part of your thigh is like still clinging on to dear life, you get that hip dip, you know, the curve at
Yes,
the,
yes, yes. Oh my god.
yeah,
But
so,
yeah. And I don't know for some reason like it was highlighted for quite some time because there are a lot of spins for workout that perky butts. This is the set of workouts that you do for
yeah,
perky butt, and then this is for the workout that you do for your boob. I was like, can you really work out your boob? I mean, if people with flat chest will do that, will they have a perky boob like you? Because people, some of them they have implants. You just have
yeah,
to, please double check
yes.
first. Don't believe everything that you see there online. That's the
Yeah.
reason why we have the internet,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Although I would like to share a very hot tip for the chest.
Mm-hmm.
It does not like workouts cannot increase your breast size because your
Yes,
breast
yes.
is like made of fat. So you cannot like, if anything, it will decrease. But you can build the muscles, the pectoral muscles that are
Yeah.
here. So if you've noticed, men they do like a lot of workouts for their pectoral muscles, and that comes out. So at the most, you can work out the pectoral muscles, which pushes that out a
Yeah.
little bit. It's like a kind of natural push-up bra, which helps with the perkiness, but it does not increase the fats in your breast. So I think
Like the
we really
boob
have to
itself.
research. Yeah. Yes, the boob itself,
Yes.
nothing's gonna happen. If anything, it could reduce in size because you're like burning, you're doing cardio and you're burning fat in your body. And
Yes.
there's no such thing as spot reduction. So it's like always an
Yeah.
overall fat loss or an overall reduction. Yeah. But you can
Yes.
strengthen the pectoral muscles. So
Which is
you
more
can just give a
important.
tiny lift, which is, yeah. And you
Yeah.
will be stronger. That's the main why.
Yes. For us, I think you and me, we share the same sentiments that while we were growing up, our goal before was not to be healthy. Our goal was to be, look a certain way that the society will say,
Yeah.
"Hey, that's beautiful. Hey, that's pretty. Hey, this is sexy. That is hot." Right?
Yeah.
But that's wrong. It's just like it's
It
putting too
is.
much pressure on yourself because every body type is unique and like we've been saying before in our each of our Instagram, your wellness journey or your workout is very personal to you because what works for Patricia may not work for me, and what works for me may not work for Patricia. But
Yeah.
you have to try and discover it. And this is a personal thing. You just can't go to someone and say, I want to do what you're doing because I want to look the same way. It doesn't work that way.
And I'm glad that you said that, because so many times we love to take advice of those we are inspired by, but we really need to take a step back and say, do I enjoy this? How does my body feel about this workout? Yes, I am a pop star. Yes, I love being in the pop community, but recently Cassie introduced 4 weeks of, I think, was it like a butt, abs, arm, and thigh workout, legs workout for the whole month last month. And I tried it and it exhausted me. And I was like, I really love her, but I can't do this. So we really have to, take a step back and be like, this is good for me or this is not working for me. And it's okay.
Thank you for sharing that, because I felt like whenever I try my best, guys. I try my best. Like I said, before I started, I tried the PIT 28 workout, because those are three stages of workout. So I finished the first stage, and I try my best. I'm trying my best to do it like all week, and I was like, for some time I felt like dying because I was like, girl, I can't do this anymore. My body is aching. And I was like, I look like an old woman walking. I mean, not to, shame the old women, but, I'm a 30-year-old woman walking like an old lady. It's like, because I had too much and I felt like, is it just me? Am I too weak? Am I too weak for Cassie's workout? So again, I was so hard on myself, and I realized that, what, Cassie has been doing this, the instructor has been doing this for how many years, and I just wanted to, this is my first time, and I wanted to make a change in my life, and I can't just say to myself or to my body that, why can't you not keep up, right? You just have to be patient with your body, because you have to develop muscles, what do you call it? Is it resistance or endurance? The word is endurance. You have to develop your endurance, and it will take time. So I will admit this here, I don't actually follow like the entire month of the calendar, because it's gonna I will not be able to move. I can't do things like, even to lift my glass of water will be it's so hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
absolutely. I'm so glad that you said that, and it's important for us to address it, because if we don't, then like, what if someone's here, you're listening to us, and you're like, I must do all of the calendar. Girl, do what you can. Girls and boys, do what you can. Listen to your body. Have fun.
And when you see Patricia, when you go to her Instagram, she has this tutorial. When you see her, she's like, oh my gosh, she's so graceful, and she's like, why does it look so easy when she does poses and transition of poses? I'm like, oh my God, why is she so good? So don't compare yourself, because she's been doing this for years, girls and guys. So
Roma,
listen to
you're so sweet.
because you just have to. Sometimes we forget that when we follow the influencers and fitness instructors, we forget that they've been doing this every day for like more than 10 years or 5 years. Then don't be hard on yourself and listen to your body. Like, if something aches, it means to say it maybe you need some rest or you're overdoing things. Yeah, so like we said, you've been doing this since 2014, right? And now, can I ask you, what is your favorite type of workout?
So every time people say that, this is the best butt workout, and automatically the first thing that comes to our mind is squats. But for me, it isn't. For me, it's the one that you go on all fours and the series of it, it's usually with Pilates, it's the pointed butt lifts or the hamstring curls or the single leg lifts that is like on all fours or on the, on the Sphinx position. Those are my favorite workouts. Because I find them more effective, and they're not as crazy or as exhausting, because with squats you kind of, it's like a cardio move as well, so your heart rate goes up. But in this one, it's more of like that resistance training, and it really gets your hamstrings. And Cassie always says this: the hamstrings are the elevator to the bootay. So you work on the hamstrings, you're gonna get.
Yes, and actually, aside from that, a double whammy also, because when you do your butt workout, you're also using your core. So it's like you're also you're doing two works at the same time, right? You're working your core and you're working so it's a good thing for your ab. Now you are a Pop Pilates instructor, right?
Yeah.
How many years have you been an instructor?
So I've been an instructor for a little bit more than 2 years. I got certified in February of 2018. And it is not easy to be an instructor. It's not easy to get the certification for Pop Pilates, because if you're an international applicant, you have 3 months. 3 months to study the whole material, to study the sample choreography, and to do a video evaluation and an online test in order to be certified. So if any of you are listening and you're like, I want to be a Pop Pilates instructor, feel free to hit me up. And also know that there's effort. You have to finish all of that within 3 months.
Yes, it's not easy, right?
The decision to... It isn't easy at all. And the decision to become a Pop Pilates instructor happened in 2017. It's kind of like a premeditated thing that was in my mind the whole of 2017. I was like, I want to be it. When Cassie introduced it, I was like I had a full-time job, and it was impossible for me to teach anywhere, like to, like even study Pop Pilates. But in 2017, things got a little bit lighter, and I was like, hey, I think now should be the right time. But what if I make a mistake? And if anyone's thinking that now is the best time to do whatever you're thinking, that like, should I do this? Just do it. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea that like making that decision in 2017 was like the best thing that I did, because I cannot stop smiling. I cannot like look forward to, the next day. I'm like so passionate about living, and it's just such an amazing feeling, really.
Because I think we've already been friends when you were already studying for or preparing for your certification, right? We've been following each other.
Yeah.
And I've seen her, how do I say, flourish or bloom, actually, when since then. And really, it's like I was one of the people who was so happy when I saw that she finally got the bracelet. Because when you become an instructor, right, you have the bracelet.
Yeah.
And when she posted it, I was like, oh my god! Happy dance! It's not easy. You're working a full-time job, and then you are doing that nonstop, and then you will have your final exam, right? And a demo. And then she finally
it's video evaluation. It's crazy. I was so nervous. I did it 2 times. But you know what? This is what the Popster community is about. Like, we have never met in person, and you were so excited for me. I mean, that is just insane. I'm just listening to that, and I'm almost like crying, just that feeling of the support of this community.
Yeah, because it's something like, I know I can't do that, but I'm happy that, someone is achieving something, and, it's something that is worth celebrating. It's not just something that, do for fun. You do it for yourself, and you maybe in the future, which is happening right now, you're inspiring people, and you help them, achieve their wellness journey, or achieve, a certain, I don't know, fitness goal. Is that yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
how we put it. So why did you want to become a Pop Pilates instructor? Do you want to do this like full
So,
time or yeah?
yeah, I want to do it full time, but since I am also a human resource, person, I did a post graduation degree in human resources. So one part of me is always going to want to do that. So right
Mm-hmm.
now I am a full time Pop Pilates instructor, but I'm also part time corporate trainer for all of these human resources related things. But
Mm-hmm.
speaking about Pop Pilates, the amount of positivity, the amount of empowerment that I receive from doing this workout, I didn't want to keep it to myself. I was like, this needs to be shared. People need to know
Yeah.
about it. And in India, it's not really popular yet. I think Pop Pilates is still new, honestly, for the world itself. And there are a lot of instructors, but it hasn't reached everyone like how Zumba has reached everyone. And I love
Yes.
Zumba. So I just thought, like, yes, people need to know about Pop Pilates. Pilates is there. There's like traditional Pilates, a lot of tutorials on YouTube. You can check it out. But Pop Pilates is different. It's moving your Pilates move to the beat of music. So it
Mm-hmm.
could be any song. Like you could be chilling out to your favorite Justin Bieber song or Selena
Mm-hmm.
Gomez song or Dua Lipa. You could choose whatever song you want and move to the beat. So it's like a dance on the mat. And
Mm-hmm.
if you take a Pop Pilates class by an instructor, we have a set of um, workouts. It's 13 workouts, and we have music to that. So every instructor is equipped to teach to the beat with the exact amount of reps, with the exact name of the moves, and we try our best to flawlessly deliver that workout to you. So you're like vibing with us, we're vibing with you, and it's just so beautiful. So that
Mm-hmm.
is why I wanted to become an instructor and spread the positivity and spread the power that I receive from it to people who really, then again, like how you said, when people are searching for a workout that works for them, I want this to be an open and available option, especially in the city that I'm in.
Yes, I guess Pop Pilates is, yeah, I agree with you. It's very new and not a lot of people know that this exists, unlike when we compare it to Zumba, because I think
Yeah.
Zumba has been there for how many years. But can we say that you're the first Pop Pilates instructor in your area in India?
Yes, yes. So we just have like about like
Congratulations!
four or five. Oh, thank you. We have like four or five instructors, and if India is huge, so in the
Yes,
whole of
yes.
northeast of India, I'm the first one, and in my city, it's like so new. And okay, so I'm just sidetracking a little bit here. When I
Mhm.
became a Pop Pilates instructor and I applied to gyms, people were like, "What is this? No, are you certified in Zumba? Like we want Zumba instructors.
It's
What
like,
is this Pop Pilates?"
are you making this up?
I know. I even went with my certificate, and I even like went with like YouTube videos of Cassie's workouts, and they were not buying it. They were like, "Nah, I don't know this."
No, 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 no,
So
no.
it is.
Zumba, Zumba.
Yeah, exactly. That is one of the things that happened back in like 2018. A lot of
Hmm.
gyms. I gave a lot of demos at many gyms over here, and none of them wanted to sign me on. They were like, "I'm not sure if our clients will like this. We'll get back to you, and we'll get
Hmm.
back to you." What that means in this world today, they
Yes.
never do.
If
And
it's not a
yeah,
yes,
they
then it's
never
a
did.
no. Yeah. If it's
Yeah,
not a yes, that's
exactly.
definitely a no. Yeah. Actually, when you mentioned about the popularities, with the music and the exercise, I think that's the reason why I came across with Cassie's video doing popularities, because I was looking for something that I could work out with music, but not Zumba. because for Zumba, I think it's more of like the whole body workout. It's like you're sweating,
Yeah.
yes, you're sweating, you're dancing. But I
Yeah.
wanted something that, like when I work for my abs or my core, I
Yeah.
want something that I can follow, but at the same time, I enjoy the music. Because
Yeah.
if you have your music on your, say, on your laptop, and then you're watching a YouTube video with the instructor saying or dictating you what's the next move, it's like you have a lot of things in your
Yes.
head. And I wanted something that I want to watch, and the music is there, the instruction is there, and I am enjoying it. And then so I was searching YouTube, and then I found Cassie's video. And then
Yeah.
next is history. I was searching the videos, and I was like, hey, I think I like this, and I was doing it,
Yeah.
and I tried it and I enjoyed it. Pop Pilates is so new, but it's so good. People should know about this. People should
Yes.
try this because I don't know, it's
Yes.
the next best thing. Yeah, it is. I
It
guess it is.
is. It is.
It is the next best thing.
And if anyone is like wondering, I don't want to commit to the whole calendar, I think my
Mm,
best recommendation will be try Blogilati song challenges. So she
yes.
has
Oh my
like,
gosh. Good
pop
luck.
music, and it's
Good luck,
crazy.
girls. Congratulations if you can finish the entire song. Really, I mean, like, there was this, is this the ab rope? Oh my gosh, ab rope.
Yeah.
Before the chorus, I was already giving up. I can't do this. I because it was,
You're like, oh, a song is just 3 minutes or 4 minutes long, but oh, you
yeah.
do the song challenge, and you're like, why is this song forever?
One of my favorite video of Cassie, which is an ab workout, is the Jason Derulo's um shucks, the one that she collaborated with Fitness Marshall. I really love that. That's my
Yeah,
go-to. That's one of my go-to. It's
yeah.
my favorite. It's part of my routine wherever I go. Like even if I work out in the gym, if I work out at home, I always do that. It's part of my menu, my regular menu for workout.
Yeah.
And okay, if you want to, understand and experience what Pop Pilates class is really about, Cassie posted, or she uploaded a full class on her channel. You should check that out. It's a 1 hour class,
Yes.
and you might think that, oh my gosh, that's 1 hour, it's too long, it's not for me. But you just try it. You know why? Because the moment that you finish it, you will be like, what, it's already done, I want more.
I think that is one of the best. And so, if any of you are wondering, we get a video like that. Like all Pop
Mm,
Pilates instructors get a video like that every 3 months with updated workout and updated choreography. And we teach that to our classes. So a lot of Pop Pilates instructors are teaching this right now online. I'm teaching some as well. I have my IGTV, and I also have like personal classes. So all Pop Pilates instructors, they get an updated choreography similar to that, the one that you saw on the internet, every
mm.
3 months. And it's just crazy. It's exciting. And like you said, even for us instructors, when we're teaching, we're like, what? It's already over? We have so
Yes.
much fun all the time.
Because if you're having so much fun, it's like time flies so fast.
Yes. Yes.
Time flies so
Coming back to
fast.
that whole like doing the workout that you love, so
Mm.
important.
So you've shared to us that you've been trying to go to gyms, and trying to offer the class and be an instructor to different gyms. And was that the reason why you put up your own studio? Because she's an owner of a fitness studio, dance studio, fitness dance, whatever you call
Yeah.
it. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's an owner of a studio, and we want to know, is that the reason why you put up your own?
Okay, Roma, you are really good because that is the reason. So it was really discouraging for me, going around and giving these demos to all of the gyms in town. And they were like, what is this Pop Pilates? Like, I don't know what it is. Are you a Zumba instructor? Can you get certified in Zumba because everyone loves Zumba. And I was like, no, this is a new format of workout. And I was even giving free demos to the gyms and to their clients. I really wanted, like I said earlier, that I wanted to share Pop Pilates with everyone, you know, the empowerment that it gave me, the joy that it gave me, the happiness that it gave me, because it is a different kind of format of workout. And, you know, after that, I was just like, okay, this room that you see here, you know, I mean, many people know this wallpaper
Yes,
because I
I'm
started
very
out
familiar
teaching
with that.
Pop Pilates. Yeah, so I started teaching Pop Pilates here part-time in this place. It's a huge recreational room in my house. And you know, the very first few clients, we were like 3, and then we grew to about 10 people. And they were all like, girl, you live so far, because my house is not in the main city, like not the busy part of the city, but it's kind of like towards the outskirts. So everyone were like, oh girl, your house is so far. Do you think you can, like, you know, get a place in the city? And I'm sure it'll be such a hit. And honestly, that's how all of this happened. It gradually came in step by step. And I was like, okay, if people are interested, and if I can get even just one person to experience Pop Pilates, that is what I would love to do. So I went out there, I checked out a few places in the city. All I needed was a room. All I need is space. Because there are no equipments in this workout. It's just you, your mat, water bottle, towel, and that's it. And yeah, beautiful things happened because the place happened, and the location worked out well for everyone, and people start coming in. You know, I didn't open the studio until July of 2019, last year. But I had some of my clients who were coming here, like 5 to 10 clients, with the new location from May already. So this lockdown period has been a time of me really recollecting those sweet memories of how Broken Barriers Fitness Studio started. And yeah, it's so beautiful, but it's also so hard.
I know. Yeah. Aside from sharing and all, I mean, sharing the popularities to the community, I think you were also looking for a chance that the gyms and the people will give you to at least show them what you have. And it's sometimes we have to go through that, we have to go through that so
Yeah,
that maybe if well, this is one thing that I also learned over the years, that if no one opens their door for you, then make your own goddamn door. Right? No one's giving me this. Okay, fine, I'm gonna do this. Actually, that's one of the reasons why a lot of things happen in my blog, and that's part of that's part of the journey. Like I've experienced a lot of no's, closures, and
yeah,
you try to knock on their doors and give you opportunities, but they're
yeah,
not giving it. Maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe the time was not right. But no one is opening their doors for you. You should you should try to create a door for yourself. And that's what she
yeah.
did. No one was saying yes to
Oh,
her, and okay, I'm gonna open up a fitness studio. I don't care. And look what happened. See, you
I
didn't know that
know.
you didn't know that there are a lot of people who will really go there and be your clients, and they're excited to experience popularities or whatever it is that you're
Yeah,
offering to them. And so
yeah,
now you have a very interesting name, Broken Barriers. Actually, this is also the name of your Instagram account, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
what can you share, if it's okay, can you share to us why is it Broken Barriers? What's the
yeah.
reason, or what's the story behind the name?
Oh my gosh, Roma, this is such a sensitive, emotional, deep topic, but at the
I
same
hope
time,
it's okay. Mhm.
it is perfectly fine because, at the end of it all, this is the opportunity that I get to share my story in hopes that whoever is listening would be, encouraged that it's okay. And it all goes back to all of these questions. I almost feel like, your questions were leading up to this because of what we've discussed. Like the norms that were set up to us as Asian people, look a certain way, be a certain way, and have a certain career path. Society's idea of certain things. What are people going to say?
Yes.
What is your neighbor going to say? What are your extended family going to say? And all of that had subconsciously built barriers for me. And I'm sure it's building barriers for everyone who's listening right now. From the time that you are a child, being told what you should be, what you should do. And yes, I'm very thankful for my family and my teachers and all of those responsible, because all of the good manners that I have, I learned it from them and from their teachings. But with that came all of the barriers that that built up as I grew up. I need to look a certain way. I need to have a certain career path. And I keep saying these two things because these are the two things that form the main barriers in my life. And initially, my Instagram name was Popster Pat. And then I realized, like, hold up, wait a minute. So many things are going on. And with the start of my fitness journey, so many things have started changing. I have started changing, and the barriers that I had set unconsciously or consciously have started to break down. Like the way I feel, like exercising is not about a look, it's about a feeling. Exercising is not a fad, it is a lifestyle. And I started noticing that the barriers that I had about my own body were starting to break down. And I also saw that working out helped me a lot with the work that I was doing. I was really becoming smarter, more alert, not cranky, like we were talking about bitch mode earlier.
Yes.
And I saw that really my life was starting to change. And then, of course, the world is full of haters. And while I was on my own fitness journey, I was having some goals. Like I wanted to do a headstand. I wanted to get into the splits. I wanted to, do an arm balance, like the crow pose and things like that. And you know what? I had like a few people who were following me at that time saying that you are too heavy, you are too thick to do a headstand or an arm balance. And I was like, okay, it hurted me for like a couple of days, but I was like, hey, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to do this for myself, not for anyone else. I'm going to do this because I think I can do it. And after a year of, I think it was around 2016, so around 2017, I was able to do my very first headstand without a support,
which I
like
saw
without the wall, like in the middle of the room. Yes, you saw
I was
that.
like, oh my god! I'm like, oh my god, she's doing the headstand. Yeah, you see, I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm really,
I love you.
It's like everything she does, I'm like, oh my god, amazing. No, I really find her. I really find her. I don't know. She's like a dancer. She's very graceful in when doing the moves, or whenever she does transitioning from one asana to another. Asana is a pose.
Yes.
When she goes from one pose to another. So the transition, when you see her move, it's like it's so smooth, it's so flow. It's like she's a dancer. She's like a swan for me.
Aww.
That's how I see you. Yeah, that's how I see you. Yeah, really.
And
so it's really
that is
encouraging.
Roma, you and the popsters that I've made friends with in 2015 and 16 were the main persons who motivated me and encouraged me to become a Pop Pilates instructor and remind me that these barriers need to be broken. And honestly, I wanted it to be breaking barriers because you continue to break all of these barriers. But I thought that broken barriers was more empowering for me and my story because it was about looking back and knowing that I've broken these barriers already and that I should be encouraged to continue to break the barriers that are going to be set in the future or the ones that I haven't broken yet. And the story that I wanted to share with my clients, and the reason why I continue to name my studio Broken Barriers Fitness Studio is because I wanted my clients to be encouraged with the same way that I've been encouraged. And little did I know that this name would be so empowering and encouraging to my clients because some of my clients would come to me and say that I never thought that fitness could be this way. Or I never thought that I should look at my body in a different way. Or I never thought that working out is associated with fun. Or I never thought that women are allowed to work out and wear whatever they want. I mean, it would come to the basic things, to the most empowering things. And I'm just like, okay, this is my purpose right here, to let people know that whatever barriers they have, and everyone have their own story and their own journey, because we were talking about how fitness works for everyone differently, that for the first time in your life, you know that there is a workout there for you that is suitable for you. And I'm not saying that every client who tried my workout loved it, because I had a lot of people try it and like discontinue, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm just keeping Pop Pilates and dance cardio available to people here just to try it out. And if it works for you, you continue to come, and if it doesn't, go and find something that works for you. And that is how the name came to be, and it stayed, and it's so, the reason why it's so emotional for me is because I still have people, even in this pandemic, writing to me saying that your name is empowering for me. It really shows me that I should break away from the barriers that I have about my own body, that maybe, like dancing is not for me. Dancing is for everyone. Movement is not for me. Movement is for everyone, because Pilates is, when you break it down, it is just moving your body, learning more about your body. And the beautiful thing about Pilates, if you've never tried Pilates, is that you try it for the first time, you're like, oh, I have that muscle, oh, what is that, because you start getting aware of your body. And and that is exactly what I want to do. I want to break the barriers that you have about your own body, those norms that you set for yourself. I need to be thin waist, big booty, big chest, strong arms. It's more than that, It's about you. It's about your mindset. And a lot of this goes with mental health as well, and body positivity. So I'm all about that. Yeah.
Wow, that is a very inspiring story. It's like we are given this opportunity to know that, and we are thankful that you shared that to us, because actually when I saw that you changed to Broken Barriers, I was like, why did she change it from Popstar Pat to Broken Barriers? Because I'm that kind of person. I'm always curious. I'm like, why? Because I know there's always a reason behind things. Because for me, I always have a reason why I do things, or why I name things this way. And I know that there must be a reason, or there must be something so moving that made her realize, or made her decide to change the name. And to know that we are really thankful that you are sharing this to us. And I know that it's an emotional story, and you're getting emotional right now. I'm so sorry, but sorry. But again, we're so thankful because you are so brave to share that with us. And when you mentioned that we are expected to be this way, that is why it's hard for women, because the society have expectation for us to be in a certain role. Like when you become a woman, you are
Yeah.
the society is expecting you to be this and this, and it took us a while. Like for me also, it took me a while to really understand how my body works, and discover myself and my identity and what I really loved. And it's not everyone has the chance to stand up. Not really the chance, but not everyone has that bravery to really rediscover yourself, because as we grow up, there are a lot of factors like culture, religion,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way your parents are teaching you how to grow up. Like women should have long hair, we should put
Yeah.
makeup, we should shave, we should do things and wear this and that.
Yeah.
And it's okay, let's say that's part of growing up. But there are certain part of your, I don't know, 25, 27, you start questioning things like, is it really, should it really be this way, or why can't I not do the things that I want? Maybe I
Yeah.
can do this the way I want it to be. So those are the things that you get through in life, and not everyone is brave enough to actually face it and try to rediscover yourself. And you're right, the society, the people around us will always be judgy, but I
Yeah.
think it's harder if we are more judgy to ourselves. I think by
Yeah.
nature or by default we are always harsher to ourselves, right?
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
even if you're doing great, it's like, oh, I'm so bad at this. Well, in fact, you're actually doing great. It's like, you don't know that you're so good, and that's why you're so hard on yourself. Again, a lot of factors around you is telling you, no, you are not good. But in fact, in your own way, you are thriving and you're trying to improve and be better. You are doing a good job. And
Yeah.
that's something that you should be proud of, because it's a journey. it's
Yeah.
it's not stopping. It's not when you reach a certain point, that's it. It's a continuous process, because this is life, right? You grow. What when you are a teenager is different from what
Yeah.
when you're in your 20s or in your 30s, right? So you get better. So
Yeah.
again, that's a wonderful journey, and your story and your journey is really empowering. That's what you will hear on
Yeah.
this episode. A lot of words like empowering and positivity, because that's what really
Yes.
the episode is all about. We want you to realize that you are not alone. If you feel so down right now, everyone has a story to tell, and now we are just giving the highlight, or we are giving this episode dedicated for Pat's journey and how she stayed positive and, I don't know, conquered her fears and trying to change and do things her way. Okay, let's go on the lighter side of things. I don't want you to
We
cry.
need it.
um, I know, but sorry. What are the challenges? What were your challenges when you were putting up the studio? And what did you enjoy the most?
Roma, you just have the greatest questions because we were like talking about we were talking about body positivity, we were talking about good vibes, and we were talking about being empowered. But the
Yeah.
truth is, you're not empowered, you're not positive the whole
Yes.
time. In the morning you may be, or in the afternoon you may be, in between or at night you suddenly have these waves of depression or anxiety. And it's important to know that that's okay, because that
Mm-hmm.
helps you deal with it. And those are the struggles that I have. Of course, there are a lot of physical struggles, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe sometimes when my clients are traveling, or
Mm-hmm.
when they're sick, I might have a dip in attendance, because this fitness, it's not a gym. It doesn't have like, it's like based on persons who come, and it's based on classes and slots. So those are the physical aspects. But I think harder ones are the ones that are emotional and mental.
Yes.
Getting up and then suddenly feeling like I'm not enough, or can I actually pull this off, or what if people are just pretending, and these can really crush your emotions, crush your hopes, and I think it is so important to address that and know that it's okay. So I think I would like to say that that would be my greatest challenge, you know, the ones that are emotional and mental, not feeling good enough, or not feeling like I can pull this off. I think those are the ones that that are the challenge me the most, apart from the physical challenges. And there's also a season, like like Christmas time or festival time. People are just like, oh, I'm just going to skip class because I really want to spend time with my family and things like that. Yeah. Which is perfectly fine, and I try to work out with my clients on a different timing that works for them, because if they want to chill out with their family later on in the evening, then we try to have more of an early morning class or an early afternoon class. And I would just be like, the haters are the other persons. So I know that it's like so easy to judge people from the other side of the table. Like, oh yeah, she's doing this. Oh, she thinks she's so great. But what about this? She's not doing this right, or she's not addressing this situation well. And as an entrepreneur, I think every entrepreneur faces that, that kind of judgment. And that really pulls us down. It's it may feel like you're just expressing your opinion, but to us it comes as a negative vibe, and it comes as a hate vibe, as to give us suggestions, give us ideas, like, hey, you're doing this, and I was just thinking, maybe what if you did this? It's so much better than, hey, you're not doing this right. You made us feel this way, or so those are some of the struggles that I face. But with all of that being said, the positives outweigh the negatives. And my favorite part of everything, the favorite thing of opening the studio, of having Broken Barriers Fitness, is that people are so happy and people smile. And my clients would come up to me and be like, the workout was so great. I came here like so sad, so depressed, because work was whatever, or I had a fight with my friend, or I'm just having a moody kind of emotional day. And then they come and work out and they're like so happy. And I live for that, that is my favorite moment. But also another thing is, I'm so excited that my clients are never about weight loss. Hey, weight loss is good. And especially if you're obese, please prioritize weight loss, because if you're obese, you have to take care of your health. You could have a lot of sugar problems or cholesterol problems, and we don't want that. But with that being said, my clients would be like, oh my gosh, I've been working out with you for like 2 months now, and the way I feel is amazing. And oh yeah, by the way, I lost like 7 kgs. And I'd be like, oh wow, like, okay, like that becomes a secondary thing. Because for them, taking care of their emotion and taking care of their mental health was a priority. And then the weight loss was like a side effect, And I was just like sitting there in this. Yes. So that is the highest points for my studio, and for why I do this, for the smiles and for the stress relief, the way they look when they come in versus the way they look when they go out. It's just everything to me.
Yeah, actually, self-doubt is a bitch. I will say that self-doubt is a bitch. And then add the negativities of other people. But, again, like you said, the positivity will outweigh the negative things. And, that's really, that's true, that I don't know, I felt for some time that it's only me, that maybe I'm getting crazy, because there are times like during the day, in the morning I'm so perky, and then in the afternoon I was like, what the heck, why am I depressed with the little things? And then sometimes I sleep at night and I feel like crying, but I had a good run of the day. Sometimes it's like I don't want to work out at all. It's like, no, give me some rest. Give me some rest, like my body and all. It's but when I push it through, or I push the day, and you go through your workout, after that I get what your clients are saying. You really feel so like
Yeah.
you have this ball of energy in you, and you suddenly became this happy person, and then say, sure, everything is positive, everything is like, okay, it's fine, it's good, I'm good, you're great, okay, see you tomorrow. Something like
Yeah.
that. It really changes your mood.
Yeah.
Now I understand why some people who they work out after office hours, which is like around
Yeah.
5 or 6 in the afternoon. It's
Yes.
because they get so tired at work, and then they need something for like a pick me up in before they
Yeah.
maybe sleep, or yeah. But also I want to ask, how are you so active like all week and even holidays? Because this girl, or this woman, ladies and gentlemen, she is posting nonstop. Like every day, you can see her workouts. You can see she's doing
Oh.
classes on IG, and even on holidays, Christmas, New Year, she's there. She's active. I'm like, are you not tired? What supplements are you taking? I want to know.
Oh my gosh,
God.
Roma, you make me sound so amazing.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
honestly like taking like mental screenshots of this moment right now, because when I'm going to have that crash of depression later on, I got to remind myself of this little segment.
Well, you go back to this podcast episode.
I will. And
Mhm.
this is honestly encouraging me and strengthening me so much, just
Mhm.
sharing and like having this chat with you and sharing my story. And honestly, I don't see it like I have to post, or I have to work out, or I have to take a class. Of course, there are
Mhm.
some times when I have to give myself a little push, because especially, for women, I think we all understand each other when that time of the month come and you're just like, I just
Yeah.
want to be in bed with like chocolates and chips, and
And ice cream.
I do have those moments where I have to ice cream, yes, and I'm just like, I do have those moments, but at the same time, I'm so passionate about this. I'm passionate about bringing Pop Pilates to the audience, or bringing my own workouts to the audience, that I just tell myself, if one person benefits from this, that's all that matters
Mhm.
to me. If there's just one person who needs this workout, or if there's just one person that we both need to look at each other and smile, I think that is what does it for me. So if someone needs that, pick me up, and I need their pick me up for me,
Mhm.
that is what encourages me and helps me to press on. So honestly, it is what is this word that you call it? It is that you and me thing. It's not just me to
Is
everyone,
it?
but it's
It's
the
a
energy that I
connection.
get back.
Mhm.
Yes, the connection.
Mm.
The connection is what keeps me like, they are connected to me, I'm connected to them, and that's what helps me to come on every day and post what I do, and and teach the classes that I teach.
Mhm. I think that's also one of the beautiful things that you have when we compare it, like this is just like a personal what do you call, observation from my end, because of course gyms are good, like gyms are
Yeah.
uh they're good, no doubt about it. But what you have in your fitness studio is like we said, connection with your client. It's like it's more than
Yeah.
being a client, so you become friends. Because sometimes when you go to the gym or you have an instructor,
Yes.
like the relationship is just a client and an instructor. Then after the session, or after the workout, that's it. you're done. But
Yeah.
then with you guys, with you and your clients, the way I see it, because I'm watching your Instagram stories, your posts, I can see that you are
Yeah.
building relationships, invisible connections with your with your clients, and that's a wonderful thing, because again, your wellness journey or your fitness journey is a very personal thing, and
Yeah.
it takes trust someone to lead you on the journey, that okay, I want to do this, can you help me? So I think that's a beautiful thing, to have that kind of connection to your followers, because they believe in you. They see that you're really leading them, or you're teaching them a valuable stuff when it comes to fitness and health. It's more than just being a client, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a
Yes.
wonderful thing. And aside from that, do you have like any unforgettable moments or any funny experiences that you will never forget when you first had your fitness studio? Something like I don't know, a funny story or something that you really cannot forget. Can you share at least one or two to us?
Yes, absolutely. I think the best moments, the most unforgettable moments are when we have fitness parties in my
Mm-hmm.
studio. So, like you said,
Oh.
it's not about that client instructor relationship. We
Mm-hmm.
are really like a family, you know.
Yes.
We call ourselves BB Fam, by the way. So,
BB
you know what we
fam.
do? We have these fitness parties. Yeah,
Yeah,
BB Fam.
I
And
saw that you have at one point you had a DJ, and then they had
yes.
cake. Everyone
And
is
we were like
dancing.
learning how to dance. Yeah, because and I would teach like certain segments of Pop Pilates that doesn't have like floor exercises, like
Mhm.
the standing warm up or the total body opener. They don't really necessarily have floor exercises, so we would have these flowy kind of Pilates movements going on, and we have music all the time. And then we kind of wrap up the evening with a potluck kind of snack, and
Mhm.
like each of us bring our own snack and we share our stories. And we don't keep it to just fitness related, we share about our lives, we share about our work and
Mhm.
what makes us happy, and we make new friends. And I think those are the most unforgettable moments, coming together, dancing together. So I've had like Christmas party. I had the latest one that we had was just before Corona thing happened.
Mhm.
It was the Valentine's party, and also
Mhm.
it was about body love challenge, because
Yes.
I wanted to promote body positivity. And everyone had just come there. We wore like red. I mean, we were like, let's just wear red, because it's like all about love. But most
Mhm.
importantly, it's about loving ourselves. And I think that is one of the most beautiful parties that we had, because of the purpose. The purpose was about loving yourself, loving your body, and just having fun. That fitness is not about looking a certain way, but
Mhm.
really it's about feeling it and making it your lifestyle. And I think at the end of the day, all of us connected that way. We ended up loving our own self. And I was like, I really, really, really love that moment. I purchased like a bunch of red roses and I gave it to everyone
That is
with
so
with
sweet.
the tag, yeah, with the body love positivity tag, and just to remind them that they have got it and they can do anything, because the power is theirs if they put their mind to it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, I think it's really beautiful, because it's as if you're creating a community, a safe
Yeah.
space for everyone who are your clients, or not even just for clients, because you say that everyone is welcome even if they don't go back. But of course, we prefer that you go back, and
Yeah.
enroll on the
Yeah.
classes. But it's like we are creating this community within the community, and it's a safe space for everyone to be enjoy and love their body more. And actually, let me just say, because I just remembered now, you have, I'm not sure if it's a client or if it's a friend of yours who's a bodybuilder, and it's he's a very muscular guy, and he's doing this lifting and all.
Yeah.
weightlifting, but then you can see him doing the Pop Pilates. It's like,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah, so one of the sweeter moments is that my friend, he is a CrossFit trainer,
Yeah, a
and he
CrossFit
works in
trainer.
another, yes. So he has a CrossFit gym, and I have, this fitness studio, and we would partner together. And
Yes.
the beautiful thing is the CrossFit and the Pilates, they go so well together because CrossFit is all about, compressing your muscle and
Yeah.
really using your muscles in such
Mm-hmm.
a way that they can help burn fat. And Pilates is all about lengthening and strengthening the muscles. So when we
Yes.
collaborated and brought both our workouts together, we found that the the body transformed in a different kind of a way. I did some CrossFit workout. I'm not a very weights kind of a person, but I did the free weights CrossFit workout with him, and then I showed him Pop Pilates, and we both it was like these two worlds came together. It
Yeah,
was very sweet of him to
so nice.
propose that we collaborated. Yeah.
Yeah. This is one thing that people don't realize. When you do Pilates, it's really hard. But after you've done it for like a few months or say for a couple of months, you will realize that you are actually gaining strength, which is very important. And also, you're trained, like your mind is trained to know you can do this. You will have a tougher mind.
Yes.
You can, because sometimes even if physically you feel that you cannot hold the position, but in your mind, no, 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 I can do this. Then just 10 seconds. It's not, oh my God, 10 more
Yes.
seconds. Change it to, it's
Yes.
just another 10 seconds. And you can do that. You
Yes.
can do that. You can maintain the posture, and after a couple of tries and couple of months of doing it, you will be surprised how strong you are. That's what I get. Like on my journey with Pop Pilates, that's what I had. Because mine was more of I started with Zumba cardio in 2017 when I started my wellness
Yeah.
journey. I started because I have to do cardio to lose the fat. That was the first step.
Yeah.
After that, I went to body weights, body workout, because I don't have my equipment and all.
Yeah.
Then I slowly transitioned, and then a mix of everything. Then I had Pop Pilates for almost a year, and then
Yeah.
I went to strength training with cables, weights, and barbells, which is I'm so thankful I had
Wow.
that process, because I think if I did that training without the Pop Pilates, I don't think I can handle the
Yeah.
equipment well, because I don't know where to get the strength or how to hold my core properly. So you
Yeah.
see those things, it won't happen. Like if you're new to the fitness community, you won't have that knowledge right away. It takes years, it takes months, and it takes what do you call this, dedication, for you to actually understand. And you have to understand your body. CrossFit and Pop Pilates, you can put them together, and it's exercise and it's fun, and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do it. Like maybe on your rest day, you can do Pop Pilates, or if you want that to be part of your regular routine before you do the main activities on your CrossFit, you can do that.
So
That's
that's one
beautiful.
of the recommendations that I give to my
Mm,
clients as well.
yes.
You
Mm-hmm.
can try Pop Pilates once a week or twice a week. You can
Mm-hmm.
do your weightlifting or bodybuilding, anything that you do on the other week, on the other days of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do dance cardio along with Pop Pilates, because, like I said, Pop Pilates doesn't really help with weight loss. It's more about muscle lengthening, muscle strengthening,
Mm-hmm.
flexibility training. So you really need to have another workout if you're looking at building your body or losing
Mm-hmm.
weight. Like
Yeah.
get a workout that works for you and mix them up together. So I don't teach Pop Pilates every day in the studio. I'm only teaching it here because I mean on IG, because you can have that choice. Like maybe Monday is the day that you do Pop Pilates and I'm teaching that. But as an individual, I also do some, free weights resistance, like very similar to CrossFit workout and Pop Pilates. So you really need to know what works for you and go about that. And I suggest that to my clients as well. So for anyone who's like wondering, where to start, just, see what you love, do what you love, and then build a regime that works for you.
This is the part where I ask, what were your realizations when you became a fitness instructor?
So the biggest learning that I've had as a business owner and as a Pop Pilates instructor, or as this person that you all have come to know me through what we've shared in your show, is confidence. I think I was never this confident before. I always doubted myself. Like you said, self-doubt is dangerous. And that's what happened to me. It's like always doubting myself. I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not enough. But really starting my own business helped me realize that anyone can do it. If you want to be an entrepreneur, do it. If you want to become a fitness instructor, do it. There's no such thing as there are too many entrepreneurs, or there's no such thing as there are too many fitness instructors, or whatever you are dreaming, whether it is to be an artist or an engineer or a lawyer or a doctor, there's no such thing as there's too much, because there is no one who is you. You are the only you in this whole world. And that is something that you really need to remind yourself every day. There's no one else who is me. There's no one else who can do what I'm doing. And there's no one else who can give to the world what I can give to the world, because I'm unique. And that is what I've realized as a person who started her own business and who stepped out into the unknown, making a path for myself, is that the confidence in realizing that you are stronger than you think you are, and power to reach your own goals and to reach your own dream, and to just get out there and do it. Reach out for it.
Yes, the first step is always the hardest. In every situation, it's always the hardest. Once that you've decided that you really want to do it, just push it through. Yeah, just push it. Try it. And then if it's not successful, then maybe it's not for you. But at least you tried, right? And in your case, you tried, you succeeded. So, because if you didn't try, I think by this time you will still be thinking, what if I did this? What if I tried this? What if I pushed it, right? Pushed it more. Yeah. So you will be left with a lot of what ifs.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think what a lot of people should also understand is that when you see someone doing well at this stage, it's not their first try.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I have failed so many times. I've tried to, be a personal trainer. I've tried to, teach whatever workouts I'm doing part-time, and I hardly had any audience. But I never gave up. And that is the most important thing that I'd like to, share with you all today. Do not give up. Just because it's your first try, go back for it. Go back for the second try. Go back for the third try. Go back for the fourth try. Because honestly, I've set up the studio. It's like, yes, I've done it for the very first time in this part of India. But I have had so many failures before. I've had so many people not interested in it. I've had so many people say no to me. And just don't take no for an answer. Go another way at it, I read this really beautiful saying, be stubborn about your goal, but be flexible about the way to get it. And that is so important. Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. Be stubborn on your goals. Like, for example, have a plan. Like they say, there are so many ways to skin the cat. So if the first one didn't happen, then go for number two. If it won't happen on number two, then try to combine one and three. Maybe it will work, you know?
Yes.
Just don't stop.
Yes.
Can I share this podcast? The reason why this podcast happened is because I've been living in Singapore. We've been here in Singapore for more than 5 years. And I stopped working because, well, it's our decision. It's my decision. But there are no regrets on that. But then I started missing out my friends. And everyone is busy. So I have no one to talk to. So, I'm always excited to talk to people, but even though I try to talk to them, they can just spare me a couple of minutes of their time, or sometimes they will get back to me maybe after a day or, a week. So, and sometimes, when you have this full of emotions, and sometimes you just want to talk, you just want to exchange conversations with people. And I was like, I had my blog, but then it's a one way because I'm gonna put my blog, but I don't know if if the readers are actually enjoying it or going past through it. So I was like, I want something more. I want something else. So I planned to do this podcast, but I was so shy. I was doubting myself. I was like, can I do this? My English is not so good. I mean, I'm not like the people who you listen to in the radio. I don't speak that well, but then I also want to put out myself out there and say that, hey, I can do this. I think I can do this. All I need is to believe in myself and have that courage. Last year I had my first episode. After a couple of episodes, I noticed that I have people who are listening, but maybe they're my friends, they're some of my families, but not a huge following. And I was a bit, it's not, I think it's not working. I was like, I think it's not working. So it was disencouraging on my part.
Yeah.
But then I realized, you know what, Roma, just do it. Do it for yourself, not for anyone else, and just make sure that whatever you put there is something out of your heart. It's made out of love, because maybe no one's listening now or in the next coming months. But when you get old and you don't have anything to listen to and you want to go back to the things that you have gone through, you can just go back to that podcast and listen to it, and then, hey, look at me, I tried it, I did it. Even though no one listened, I'm listening to it now. So it's like, do it for yourself, improve as you go along. And now look at us, I have you as my guest. This podcast is improving. I have guests with me and people are watching. People are asking for, people are asking about the episodes, and people are watching it. It's like, it's something exciting on my part. So what if I did not push for, for that episode? And what if I still have my what ifs? Like, I want to do podcasts, but I didn't actually record. So it's the same thing for us. It's like your journey and my journey is almost the same. It's the same. It's like, what if we didn't do anything with the things that we really wanted? Maybe we won't have this conversation. You're not sharing your journey with us. So I guess self-doubt is a bitch.
Roma, thank you for that. Your story, you sharing your story with my story, and then like we in this platform putting it together, it's just so beautiful because everyone's story is different, but the things that affect you are the same, like self-doubt, negativity, saying, weird things to yourself, and all of those things. So I'm so glad that you shared that. And trust me, you speak so well. You are an inspiration. You are stunning.
Thank you. You are so nice.
I followed you first. I found you on veryduchess.com.
Thank you. Makeup and all, makeup and skincare, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think little by little we discover a little more about ourselves, and we get to love ourselves more. Okay, so you know what? This is a very, very um a nice conversation that I'm having with my
It
friend
is.
here. But we will have to take a short break, and when we come back, we will talk about more about her business, Broken Barriers Fitness Studios, and how the pandemic is affecting the business. What are her plans as she move forward? Okay, more of that when we come back. There you go. Welcome back to our episode. And again, we are joined by Miss Patricia Buhril. And now this is the second part where we will talk about the business and how the pandemic is affecting business owners. And Patricia is a fitness studio owner. Her fitness studio is named Broken Barriers Fitness Studio in India. And now, can you share with us how the pandemic, like I said earlier, how the pandemic affected your business?
Yeah, so everyone is affected by this pandemic, and my business got affected from March 20 of this year, because I think it hit India a little bit later. So after March 20 was when we started having the lockdown. So till then I was having classes. So it's about like a couple of months now, a couple of months, a little bit more than that. I had to close down the studio. But the positives, since we're always trying to be positive, is that my online classes, suddenly came out. And I never thought that I had a skill in online teaching, and now I'm like, wow, I actually can teach the workout online. My clients, they follow the workouts there, and because it's online, it has a bigger audience. And I've had people from all other parts of India join in on my online classes, and I've also been having collaborations with other Pop Pilates instructors from other countries. And I've been having audience from those countries as well. So while the downside is that I had to close my studio and I miss my clients so much, the plus side is I've connected with more people. I've gained more followers. I think I gained like almost 1,000 genuine followers on my Instagram ever since the pandemic. Yes. I was really shocked and surprised myself, and I was like, okay, so people are looking at ways to keep themselves healthy, keep themselves engaged with workouts. They're trying out new workouts because now home workouts are all you have.
Yes.
So Pop Pilates is a great home workout.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so because of all of these things, there is both, the downside and the upside to this situation. And I am not upset. I'm happy for everything that has happened. I'm not saying that I'm glad that Corona happened, and because a lot of lives have been lost, a lot of families have been affected. But as an individual, as a person who's having this fitness studio, trying to keep that positivity going on, and because the people that you're in touch with, you absorb their vibe. If people are going to be like, oh, I hate this, oh, I'm sad about this, you're going to absorb that vibe. But if you come on and say, like what you're doing, Roma, you are spreading positivity. You are not having a podcast session, to talk about, like, to bitch about life and to bitch about how Corona is ruining all of us, but that you're uplifting me. and you're uplifting all your viewers and listeners, that there is a plus side to everything. You know, I mean, we're having this chat and I'm like, damn, I am so blessed. I needed to have this, show to help me understand how blessed I am.
You realize the things that you have, but then you forget to recognize them for
Yes.
some reason. Yeah, because you're so
Yes.
busy. Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
So, how did you react when you know or you realize that you have to, close your studio?
Well, my very first reaction was anxiety. I was very anxious, like, what is going to be the future? How am I going to pay rent? What's going to happen to my clients? Will I be able to retain them? You know, so many like questions start coming in. And I was just like, okay, this is going to affect me. And I think I was very tempted to give in to those negative vibes, that I was creating for myself. But after coming down and, realizing that everyone is going through this and we're all in this together, I started asking, like engaging with my clients and ask them, like, what should we do? What would you like to do? Would you come on IG live if I taught it there? Or would you, what would you want? And then slowly started seeing like some solutions. And that is where the magic also happened with other Pop Pilates instructors. And I started this thing called collaborations of workouts. So we come on IG Live and each instructor teaches like 4-4. And we also show modifications at this time. And it's really, really empowering to meet people across the globe. So even the people who are like working out with you, they are like international and you are international for them. And I mean, suddenly we're all sane, So yes, my first reaction was negative, but after, like you said, we control our own thoughts, and we have the power to do that, to control our own mind. And I was like encouraging myself and stirring myself towards what we can do versus what we cannot do. And yeah, I'm glad for it. I really am.
You have bills to pay, you have rents to pay, especially your studios, and you have been you have the studio for almost a year. So, I mean, it's still on operation, everything, all your money is out. You have not actually you don't have return of investment yet, because it will take like 2-3 years before you can say that, hey,
for sure,
this is actually working out, and I'm getting something out of it. So, and then you were hit by this pandemic, and yes, that's right. I guess that's the initial reaction, is also anxiety because of the uncertainty, because we are not sure when is this going to last, what will happen next. But then what we want you to know, or what we want our audience or our listeners to understand, is that what you are feeling right now, if you're sad or if you're anxious or somewhat afraid, it's okay. It's valid. Whatever it is that you're feeling is valid, because no one knows what's gonna happen in the future, in the next months, in the next years. We are very sure. Uncertainty, definitely. But if you acknowledge what you feel, like what she did, you should go to the next thing, which is what? Identify what can you do and what you cannot do. Because if you dwell on the things that you cannot do, then you will just be, what do you call this? More depressed.
Yeah.
Because there are things that's out of your control. So why don't you position yourself and try to discover the things that you can actually do. Identify the problem. Okay, this is the problem. This is affecting me. How is this worldly thing affects me? And then how do you move forward? At least for yourself right now, like for Patricia, this is what she did to at least recover, and then plan ahead, plan afterwards. Like for her next best thing is to establish a presence online. So I guess not just for your business, but for the other business as well in the world, not just
Yeah.
locally, but the entire world. The next challenge is, putting up your business available online and, be it accessible to your
Yeah.
client. So you've been anxious for a while, and did you talk about this? Because I'm sure it's gonna hit on your mental health
Yes.
issues, your positivity. How did it affect your relationship, or
Yeah, I think so. The thing is, we all are like working in my family, and we all
Mhm.
have like works to do. So all of us were very understanding to each other, and that is one of the beautiful things, having an understanding family, having a family that loves you and supports you is so important during this hard time.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying, that everyone were supportive. I know that I didn't mention this earlier, but the thing about the Asian mindset is I want my kids to be a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer,
Yes.
and any other
Yes.
profession is like, don't even talk about it, okay? I know I didn't
I
talk about that.
know.
I'm sorry. I really wanted to address it because that's one of the things that came to my mind, like, okay, now like my family is going to be like, okay, she is doing this fitness studio thing. It's a huge liability, and now the pandemic hits. And honestly, there has been a lot of mixed emotions about it. But as I said, the passion to do this is what's driving me, and it encourages me and it empowers me every day. I'm like looking forward to it. Every day, I'm like, I want to do this, and that is one of the main things that keeps me going even in this pandemic. I also do have my family. They are not the most excited about it, but at the same time they are not like, do not do this. So I honestly, I mean, like, to anyone who is having this situation, I think you really need to be very practical and realistic about it. Find out, can I do this? Will I be able to do this? And the truth is, you can do it. So you do not be discouraged, but rather, lift your head up, know your potential, see what are your resources. Like for me, my resources are, I've had great training. In fact, when the pandemic hit, Pop Pilates had a training, kind of like a retreat training for all of the Pop Pilates instructors,
Mhm.
and it was like a 1 week of training on their US timing, and we all came on Zoom. We were like so many instructors who came online, and we were trained like from the basics to how to teach a virtual class. And now if you go and see any Pop Pilates instructors, they are equipped to teach you
Mhm.
an online workout. So I think that it was very empowering of Cassie and her team to do that. She and her sister Jacqueline Ho. So they made this retreat available to all Pop Pilates instructors for free. And that was the most beautiful thing that they did, because of them doing that step, that influenced us to go out and do the step that we needed to do, to empower whoever else is following us. So yeah, so it all boils down to that. It's not just you yourself, but it's also your family who's there to support you, and the people who you're working with, who join hands, and then they make their
Mhm.
resources available to you. They are like, hey, are you okay? Are you going to be able to take this
Yes.
class? And just empowering you all the way. And I think all of those things put together is what has helped me to really, press on and
Mhm.
move forward in this
Mhm.
hard times.
Yes.
And don't think that I didn't cry, okay? There are nights when I would like cry and be like,
Yes.
oh no, this is not happening. But then it does happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
This is the kind of positivity that we are talking about, or what we are trying to let people understand, that you can be positive and shower people with your positivity, but at the same time, there are shits going on behind you, because you just can't be positive all the way. There's a
No.
reason
Yeah.
why you are having that kind of positive mind. You are drawing it from somewhere. You're getting it from somewhere.
Yes.
And it's the thing is, you are acknowledging that whatever it is that you have in your background is really not doing well or is not at their best, but you're trying to look for something positive so you can be encouraged to move forward and push for more, despite
Yes.
what's happening. Because if we keep on dwelling on the bad things, I don't think it's going to help you sustain the energy that you need to move forward. It's acknowledge, but at the same time, look at the brighter side. Look at the things that to be thankful for. You always have the choice. You always have the choice.
We do. We
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So that, and okay, so you know what? This is I'm really having so much fun, and can I just put this out there? And this is an open invitation. Can you please go back to my show and let's do a couple of episodes more? I think I want to talk
Oh,
about body positivity and
yes,
mental health awareness and mental health,
definitely.
and those things.
Yes.
We have a lot of things to talk about, and there are so many stories that we need to share out there so that the people who are feeling this or doubting themselves, they can listen to the podcast. Let's encourage them, and we hope to move their lives, and I don't know. I'm just putting it out there, and this is an open invitation, but please say yes.
Roma, I am more than happy and more than excited to say yes. You have no idea how much you have empowered me because of this show. I mean, when you reached
Thank
out to me,
you.
I was like, wait, what? Like, like what? Is this even happening? And now that
Yes.
it's happening, I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing. So this is like coming back to this,
Mhm.
we're going to remember 2020. We're going to remember the pandemic.
Yes.
We're going to remember the anxiety and the hurt or the depression that we faced. But then
Mm.
we're going to remember all of the other beautiful things that has happened. This online connection.
Yes.
Because if not for the pandemic, I think we would have just exchanged, messages on Instagram and
Yeah.
not really gone ahead with this.
Mm.
So everything does happen for a reason, and I am so motivated by your vibe, your
Thank
smile,
you.
your happiness, you doing this, and I know, girl, you are like one woman army. You're doing everything.
Yes,
You're
we do.
editing the video,
Both of us,
editing the
yes.
audio,
I know, I know.
camera settings, mic settings, hair and makeup, outfit change.
We do everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just so empowered by, you, whatever you're doing. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Me and Pat are actually exchanging messages from time to time. Like we would say, "Hey, how are things going?" We keep in touch for the past years, but this is the first time that we actually have face-to-face conversation. Your reaction when I invited you, when you share that, what really, those are the same reactions of my guests whenever I invite them. But let me just say this to you and to the rest of my guests, that when I invite you, it means to say I believe in you, that you have something to share to the listeners or to my audience, and I want your your presence or your story to inspire them, because it means to say you inspired me, and I want people to know more about it, because I know they can relate, they can connect, and it's this is my way of giving back to the community, to so that if they're feeling down or they want some inspiration, they can go to my podcast, to my videos, to my vidcast, and watch and listen to your stories, and maybe after an episode or two, they will feel inspired, they will feel empowered, and be moved that tomorrow when they go up from bed, or when they go out to go to work, they have this ball of energy that they can, it's inspiring them to do much better and not be sad with the things that they don't have. So that's part of my goal to be behind this podcast, to inspire people really, so
And
there.
you are an inspiration. Lots
Thank you
of
so
love.
much. Thank you so much, Pat. So, unfortunately, again, we have to go to the last part of this episode, but this won't be the last. We promise you. I will invite her back, and we will have a couple of episodes more. Okay, but can you share? Do you have any messages to your clients and fellow instructors, maybe those who are also affected by this pandemic? Just put it out there.
Yeah, sure. First of all, Roma, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for believing in me. Your words mean a lot to me, and literally you have made my week, my month, everything. I am just so grateful. And so with that being said, what I want to say is that we have already made it to half of 2020. And if we
Yes.
have learned anything, we are stronger than ever, and we are stronger than we think we are. So the main message would be press on with me, press on with Roma, press on with the people who trust in you and believe in you. You believe in yourself, and let us continue to do this together. Because together we are strong, but divided we fall.
Yes.
And always take care of your mental health.
Yes, which is
Because,
a very,
yeah,
very important, very important. Yes.
yes, because if this gets messed up, everything gets, infiltrated. It comes
Mm-hmm.
into our vibe, it comes into the productivity of our work, it comes into everything that we touch. So
Yes.
take care of yourself here, stay hydrated, eat the right foods. It's okay to also have cravings, eat those
Yes.
too. Take care of your body, work out, be kind to yourself, and you will find that you are more resilient than you have ever been. That this pandemic phase has made you stronger, has made you wiser, has made you more positive more than anything else in your entire life. Thank you, Roma.
Thank you. Um, so now that the
It's
studio
okay.
is now that the studio is closed, what are your future plans, and how will you adapt to the new normal moving forward? Because can I ask, when do you have any updates on when
Yes,
your
yes,
place
you
is
can.
easing out? Yeah.
Well, Roma, honestly, I think our government announced that maybe things might uh, be at like a limited capacity. We can start opening gyms and studios maybe around July or August. So for
Okay.
the rest of this month, or most probably for July, I might have to continue to have online classes. So
Mhm.
if you follow me, I mean, you're following me, but for those of you who are
Mhm.
interested, I have a broken dot barriers on Instagram, and my studio is broken.barriers.fitness, and I take
Mhm.
classes like IG live classes on both of it, and sometimes I also save it as IGTV content. So if you
Mhm.
want to catch a quick workout with me, you can go and check that out, or you can even just DM me and I can give you the classes that I am taking. So what's the difference between the free classes and the classes that I take is, in the free classes, I just give you like a maximum 30-minute express workout, where
Mhm.
it just gives you a glimpse of the workout. But in the private classes or the private private sessions, we are not going to be many people. Maybe we would meet on Zoom or Google Hangout, and I can also see you. I can check your form and everything. And I teach a longer class, maybe like a 45-minute class. So we are engaging more, and it really depends on what you want. The reason why I'm keeping free content out there is because I know that it's hard to be motivated, and I just want you to be encouraged and motivated to just take that initial step, go out there, explore Pop Pilates, explore what my Broken Barriers fitness workouts have to offer you, and see what works out for you. So those are my plans for now. I'm just going to have like online workouts. I also will be having collaborations with fellow Pop Pilates instructors. So if you are from another country, and if you want to see, a time zone that works out for you, I have them all listed in my Instagram. You can reach out to them. And, the Popster community is just like here, what you're seeing, Roma and me.
Yes.
We are so accessible. You can just write to us, DM us. Yeah. We're not stuck up. We are not like, oh, let me reply to that email after a month. We're not like that.
Yeah.
We will reply to you as soon as we can. And we are more than excited to reach out and, get you to our classes.
Okay, that is so exciting. Thank you for sharing that, so that all your clients or future clients will know that there is something to look forward to, especially with your Broken Barriers fitness studio.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just follow the instructions, and actually, it's because it's for all our safety. So that is why I guess I believe that's a very good decision on your part, because you also look after your clients, and it's better to be safe than sorry,
Yes.
Yeah. So
Always.
now can I ask, Pat, how do we get in touch with you, or say, how do they book a class in the future? Can you give us your contact details, social media accounts?
Yeah, sure. So on Instagram, I am broken.barriers. I also have my studio account that is broken.barriers.fitness. So those are the Instagram accounts. I also have a Facebook page called Broken Barriers Fitness Studio. You can reach out to me there. And I'm available on DMs. You can just reach out and contact me. I will reply to you. Do not worry about it, and we can always set up. So I'm not just about like, please take my class. If you want to know how to get started, I'm more than happy to help you on starting your fitness journeys. Or if you are somewhere advanced or you want to try something different, I'm also in for that, because I have had quite a journey. I've tried quite a lot of workouts, and I would be more than happy to share whatever I know with you all.
Okay, that is so nice. Thank you so much. And again, the Roma Miclat Show is very, very thankful that you said yes to this guesting. And this is just one for the books, I'd say. One for the books. Thank you very much, Pat. So much.
Thank you, Roma.
I'm very, very happy. I'm very excited for this. I was so excited that actually I was wearing her favorite color. This is purple. It's her favorite color. Yeah.
I'm so excited too. And I was like, wait, makeup expert and all. I'm like contouring my cheeks.
But yeah, so again,
not bad.
Yeah, no, you look so pretty as always, with or without makeup. Pretty.
Thank you.
So
you are beautiful and stunning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us today, for watching this episode. And if you don't want to watch, or if you're doing something, maybe you just want to listen to it, you can also listen to my podcast. That's the Roma Miclat Show at Spotify. Actually, I'm everywhere. We have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I also have my YouTube channel and Anchor.fm. So there. Thank you so much, and I hope that you stay safe. Have a great day, and until our next episode, bye!
Bye!